Name confused by Enchanted Nightingale. Chapter 49. Bugged. He appeared suddenly when they were replacing the bugs around the living room for the second time in a month. The first time, the bugs had lasted 15 days. The second, 3 hours. Sherlock was sharp like that, and Mycroft stubborn enough that he wanted them replaced immediately. His male assistant had told Anthea so and sent her on her way with a new team and a smug grin on his face. It would be her first face-to-face meeting with her boss's brother, and she had dreaded it. The moment he stepped into the room, glaring at them like they were lower than the dirt that started to settle on the cluttered surfaces of the room, face scrunched up in distaste. Inwardly, Anthea was cursing the lookout that had sworn Sherlock had left on foot about 20 minutes ago to meet up with Lestrade for a murder case some half an hour distant from 221B Baker Street. Apparently the lookout had been wrong, or Sherlock's network had informed the genius who came back, if only to taunt them for their own incompetence. Within minutes, Sherlock had deduced that Gordon had been drinking again because apparently his wife left him, that Mike had a newborn kid, hence the black circles under his eyes, and that Alan was having chemo for a few weeks now. He then turned to her and seemed to recognize her stance and the way she carried herself. "I like the green-eyed lackey more," Sherlock remarked, making Anthea look up from her phone and smile. The door slammed again, and Sherlock's roommate let out a shriek of shock and fear. He was a med student, and he had not even heard Mycroft's people come into the apartment to bug the place, something that slightly unsettled Anthea. She knew from older files that one of Sherlock's older roommates had been sent to the hospital when somebody from the Triads broke into that apartment looking for Sherlock. Said genius arrived just in time to take down the intruder, but late enough for his then roommate to need a 3-week stay in the hospital. That had been roommate number 6, not counting the roommates previous to Sherlock's stint in rehab, Mycroft's keen-eyed assistant had remarked, making Anthea wonder about the youngest sibling of the two. "I think you just found the toes at the sink," the genius muttered. A few minutes of banging doors and heavy steps. A man with Asian features and carrying suitcases came down the stairs, glared at Sherlock, and stormed out of the place. "I need a new roommate," Sherlock muttered with a sigh. "No one understands sacrifices must be made for science." Anthea arched an eyebrow and did not comment on that. "You can tell Mycroft that I'm on the search for a roommate again," Sherlock told her. "He can send his least favourites to me to break. He seems to find it amusing to make them our babysitters." Anthea stayed silent, and he nodded. "Nice doggy to you," he said. "Lock the door on your way out, and, well, I'll get rid of the bugs again, so do what you will." He put on his coat and closed the door behind him just as Anthea sent a text to her direct supervisor to convince him this was a lost cause and a waste of equipment and time. All she got back was a smiley face, which made her groan.